is Mahalit Gwalar Akasai. I work in healthcare field as a nurse. I've worked in long-term cares for a couple of years for mental health facilities. Currently, I work at a rehab center. So I want to talk about what mental health means. In our culture, in our religions, whatever religion you have, we associate mental illness with the devil. Um, they say "Tetsalila" or "Shaitan hizu," something like that. But mental health, according to World Health Organization, it is the state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own ability, can cope with normal stress life, and can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to contribute to his or her own community. So what does mental disorder or mental illness mean? It's the opposite of that. It's when when a person's thinking is affected, their emotional state being and their behavior is disrupted, and they can no longer work. They can no longer be, and they can no longer do their daily activities. So in our community, we see a lot of depression, we see a lot of anxiety, we see a lot of PTSD, which is post-traumatic disorder, and currently we're seeing a lot of suicide, which is very sad. So what does depression mean? Depression is very common. It's a common mood disorder. It affects how you feel. It affects how you handle your daily activities. It affects your sleeping, your eating, and your work habits. You either sleep too much or you don't sleep. You either eat too much or you don't eat at all. And you either work or you don't want to work. You just stay at home, depressed. And anxiety is triggered by, it comes from a worry or feeling of fearful. You fear for any reason. It could be your kid goes out and you think they're the worst. They're not coming back. They're gonna get into a car accident. So you feel very anxious about it. And post-traumatic disorder is a mental health condition that is triggered by a terrifying event. As Tegarus, we have experienced the worst, I would say, from the world. We've experienced bombing, hunger, we've struggled. So it is common to see PTSD on Tegarus. You get these nightmares, flashbacks, and so you start avoiding the situations that triggers those events. So you don't want to talk about these events. You don't, like Tsaga was saying earlier, you don't want to talk about the bad things that happen because you want to avoid these memories. And also, we see a lot of suicides in our community these days. A little kid she killed herself a couple of years ago. Why are we seeing these suicide events in our community? Why are people completing suicide? Or especially young kids at 13 years old. Why is this happening? Do you think they all want to die? No. When they complete suicide, they're calling out for help. Are you paying attention to your kids? Are you paying attention to your parents? Are you paying attention to your friends? How are they doing? Are you really asking how you're doing and walking away? Are you pausing and listening to their response? That's what we need to do. Is it okay to ask them if they want to kill themselves? It's okay. You can ask them. You'll get a response because they need that. They're calling out for that. So, why are we not taking care of ourselves? The most important organ in our body is our brain. So if you get sick, you go to the hospital, you take care of yourself. You take medications. When you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling depressed, or when you're feeling that you want to kill yourself, why aren't you looking for help? So with this community, with the Tegaru community, what we want is that we want to invite you to come home. Come home on 11182 East Mississippi Avenue, Aurora, Colorado, 80012, the Tegaru community. We want you to come home. Let's talk. Let's heal each other. I'm here to support you, and you are here for me. Thank you.